What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we'll be introducing the product rule. We're gonna discuss how do we apply the product rule and on which formulas are we gonna be applying the product rule. How are you gonna see the function that requires a product rule. Now before I start guys, if you are new on this channel, I would suggest or I would recommend that you subscribe to this channel because I have made videos on other chapters like your trigonometry, your limits, your binomial theorem, your derivative from the first principle, and other derivatives. I also made videos on chain rule, so you can go and watch those videos on the playlist of this channel. All right guys, now the product rule is one of the rules that we use to find the derivative function. Now we use the product rule when we have two functions that are multiplying each other, hence the word product there. For example, let's say we have function f of x multiplied by function, this time g of x. Now this is gonna be your function there, the whole function. Now when you find the dy over dx of this function here, you have to derive the first function. For example, f of x prime, then you multiply by the second function, which is not deriving the original, as you can see here. Then you add. Then the other term, on the other term, the one that you derive on the first term, you do not derive it, but the one that you derive on the second term is the one that you're gonna derive this time, which is g of x prime. I hope you guys can see what we're talking about here. Now I'm going to show you with the actual function. Let's say you have y, and then this is equaling to, let's say, x to the power of 3 multiplied by, let's just say, 3x. All right. Now as you can see, this time around we have two functions. We have this one that has x to the power of 3, and we have the second one here, the multiplication of this one here, which is x to, which is 3 to the power of x. All right, now we must able to recognize, we can say the first one, let me just underline the first one here, the first function here, you can call it f of x, f of x. Just write it here, you can call it f of x, and then multiply by the second one, which is g of x. As you can see, they are multiplying each other here. So if you look at the formula here, the formula says when you find dy over dx of this function here, you have to do what? Derive the first one here, your f of x, which is 3, which is x to the power of 3. So when you derive this, this is gonna be 3, and then you know that this is gonna be 2. Okay, and then when you derive this, then the second one here, what you do, you don't derive it, you just let it be. So it's gonna be 3 to the power of x, and then you add. Now on the second term, this time around, you don't derive the f of x because it's already been derived on the first term. So f of x, which is x cubed, you leave it like that, and then now you start to derive the g of x. So the g of x, when you derive it, remember this is gonna be 3 to the power of x, and then natural log, then 3. Basically this is it. That's it guys, there's nothing more to it. There's nothing more to it. I hope you guys can see what is happening here. Let me just make another example. Let me make another. I feel like you can make another example. Let's say we have something like this time around. We have let me think of a question that is gonna be easy for us to do. I can't think of any. Oh yeah, let me just give you something like, let's say you have x probably, and then we Let me just do this. X is very simple. Let's just say we have 2, and then we have to the power of e, right? E to the power of x, and then we have multiplied by this time around. Let's just say log x. Let's just say 2x. Okay. All right. Now you need to able to recognize which one is g of x, which one is f of x. It's very important, guys, to recognize the two. I would advise you to recognize the first one as f of x and the second one is g of x. So let's say this one is the f of x. So let's say this one here is f of x, and then this one here, let's say, is g of x. Now when you look at the formula, your dy over dx here, remember when you derive this one here, guys, it's gonna be f of x prime f of x, meaning you're gonna derive the first one there, which is gonna be exactly like this. Nothing changes, guys. If you so happen don't remember, go to the icon there, guys, go and watch those videos how to derive the exponent, especially when you have e. Okay. All right, then you're gonna write this one as it is, which is gonna be log 2x, right? Log base 2x. All right, then remember the formula says plus. So when you plus this time around, you leave the first f of x as it is. So if you look at our formula, the original f of x is still 2e to the power of x, but then you differentiate what? G of x. So g of x, if you still remember, this is going to be multiplied by 1 over x natural log then 2. Guys, if you continue with this one, which is, it's supposed to stop there, but it's going to be 2 f of 2 multiplied by e to the power of x log 2x plus 2 multiplied by ex over x natural log 2. Guys, this is how you differentiate this. This is example number 2. But do not forget that with product rule, it's two functions that are multiplying each other, and then when you find the dy over dx of this function here, you start with f of x, differentiate with f of x, then you differentiate f of x, but you multiply it with g of x. Then we're gonna have the second term. The second term, the f of x which you differentiated on the first term is gonna be the one that is not differentiated here, and then the second one here, the second function here, which is g of x, is the one that's gonna be differentiated. As you can see from this example, this is the formula that we follow. Guys, please, if you don't understand, you can rewatch this video, and also you just stick around, because I'm gonna make more videos, more examples on this rule. So guys, if it so happen that this will help you to understand, you can subscribe, comment, and also like the video. I would really appreciate that. You can also share this to your friends so that they can able to understand this better as well. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Till next time, cheers.